Hello, students. I apologize in advance because I'm at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts and sometimes there's a little noise. In Module 9, we studied and we discussed the use of private cars. In this module, I invite you to use your imagination and your experience while you were living in the Bay Area, New York City, Boston, Barcelona. I remember some of you either are taking this class or are from Shenzhen, Shanghai, New Delhi. So whether you're in the hill or in the middle of traffic or at work or in this beautiful house, I invite you to use your creativity this module. And to help you a bit, we will use these short videos from Perusal to learn a little bit about Mexico City, Manchester, Boston. Given the size of the externalities of the use of car, you should soon realize that whether it's us or someone next to us, people need to start using alternatives over the car. So as you go through this module, think about this question. How can we make transit better, more efficient, or even possible, reliable, so that perhaps you might be willing to use it? And perhaps not you now, because you're starting your most productive years, but what about your 12-year-old self? Imagine these 12-year-olds using transit to go to soccer or to lacrosse, practice baseball, anything. Or the 80-year-old version of you. For my mom, having a car was a blessing, and she drove for 6 decades. But now she cannot see very well, and she cannot drive anymore. However, she lives in a city with a very good transportation system and with huge subsidies. So all the people 65-year-old and older don't have to pay for the subway or the BRT. So she owns her city and she's able to visit friends, go to doctor appointments without having to rely on a chauffeur or somebody asking an Uber for her. Now, one last aspect of this module is very weird, crazy, and personal. As commuters in our cars, we're individuals focused in good driving and getting there. I don't know. As commuters in public transportation, we are momentarily part of a community in a sense. Especially if it's very crowded, we are together in the hardship of getting to places. And the experience is totally different. Personally, I think it's more human. There's this project from Harvard that's been going on for 8 decades. It's called the Happiness Project. And they try to discover what makes people happy, but also healthier and live longer. And they discovered that the number one aspect is relationships, human relationships. Of course, significant relationships, but also random relationships. And that's even more important than a good diet or exercise. The thing is that when you interact with a stranger, in a positive way, of course, it reminds us of our humanity. And I think that triggers something within us. Well, anyhow, this is a personal hypothesis, so don't mind that. But as many of the material you learn in college, you might never be in that position of deciding the transit budget. But what if you are? Or what if you're advising someone who does? Or what if you happen to become a congressperson and vote on issues like this? Whether it's for fun or for curiosity, we need to be proficient in understanding the incentives behind our behavior as commuters and how we can have better cities and better lives. So go call that friend of yours, and welcome to Module 10.